Have you ever had a major paradigm shift? Your entire life you held a certain belief or opinion, only to discover it just wasn't true? A paradigm shift occurs when the usual and accepted way of doing or thinking about something changes completely. It's a radical 180-degree turn from one way of thinking to another. It was 1985, and I was sitting in a medical lecture by Dr. James Anderson, who is a leading expert in diabetes research and treatment. Dr. Anderson was discussing the dramatic changes his diabetic patients had experienced. He had taken hospitalized type 2 diabetic patients with poorly controlled blood sugars and simply changed their diet from the standard American diet to a diet high in fiber and plant-based foods. Within weeks, the patients experienced dramatic improvements. Their need for insulin and oral medications dropped anywhere from 75 to 90%. Many patients improved so much that they no longer fit the diagnostic criteria for diabetes. I could hardly believe my ears. I had always been taught that diabetes was incurable, that diabetics would struggle with the disease for the rest of their lives. But this respected physician and researcher was sharing case after case of patients who had reversed their type 2 diabetes completely. Sure, they needed to continue their healthy habits so the disease wouldn't return. But the point is that they didn't have diabetes anymore. That was the beginning of my diabetes paradigm shift. And after working with diabetics for the past 25 years, I'm more convinced than ever that this paradigm is true. By addressing the cause of illness, type 2 diabetics can experience dramatic health improvements, avoid complications, and possibly even reverse the condition. What a powerful paradigm! But wait a second. If type 2 diabetes can be improved so dramatically, why don't we hear about this more often? Or about this from our medical community? Why aren't diabetic patients taught the valuable information they need to transform their health? In our fast-paced, money-driven healthcare system, providers often don't have adequate time to educate patients about how to be healthy. All too often, patients are treated for the symptoms of the disease, while the underlying causes of disease are just simply not addressed. Imagine that you walk into your bathroom and find a puddle of water all over the floor. You run to the closet, grab a mop, and begin cleaning it up as quickly as you can, but despite your efforts, the puddle continues to grow. It spreads into the hallway, the living room, the bedrooms. No matter how fast you mop, the puddle grows faster. Where's the water coming from? Just then you notice that the bathtub is overflowing and the faucet is still on. What's your next step? Will you keep mopping? Satisfied that you're working hard to address the situation? No. You've got to turn the faucet off. Addressing the symptoms of disease without dealing with the cause of disease is like mopping up a wet floor without turning off the faucet. It's an outdated paradigm, and it simply doesn't work. The good news is that just like a faucet can be turned off, the factors that promote disease can be turned off. If you struggle with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes, you don't have to settle for a mop-up job. You can move past the old diabetes paradigm and embrace the new.
Approximately a year ago, I was feeling really bad. I was lack of energy, constant headaches, wake up not feeling as energetic as I usually do. Decided to talk to the doctor about it. I went in. He put me through a glucose test, and the glucose test revealed that I had diabetes. From my experience, I know diabetes to not be curable, and I thought that my future was going to be pretty much shortened. I thought that, I may possibly not be able to do the things that I wanted to do with my kids, such as sporting events, soccer, softball, basketball. Amputations of toes, fingers, and limbs all came into mind when I was first diagnosed with diabetes. A friend of mine told me about Dr. Youngberg and explained that he may be able to help me. After the first 3 weeks, I could feel a change. It felt like a weight was lifted off me. I could wake up with a lot more energy, a lot more focus on what I had to do each day. After 3 months of meeting Dr. Youngberg, my diabetes was reversed, and I was told by one of my doctors at the VA that I'm no longer diabetic. I've been feeling better ever since. Today, I'm living proof that diabetes can be reversed.
I was taking a routine medical test, just a thing, and for the first time, my primary doctor says, "I think you're diabetic." So we take further testing, and sure enough, I was a full-blown diabetic. My primary doctor said, "Oh, we could take care of that with medications and all so forth." I said to myself, "No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try this lifestyle medicine way." It's quite simple, things that we had to do. It just made all good sense. So it wasn't a hardship at all, as far as I was concerned. 6 months later, after the started all that, I was declared non-diabetic. I reversed it. And since then, I just had the extensive test just about 2 months ago, and I'm still not a diabetic or pre-diabetic. And that alone is the reward. And I'm eternally grateful. There's no question about it. Now, I've been without diabetes for a year and a half. I hope that's an encouragement to anybody else that could say, here, this 91-old guy can do it. I'm going to do it too. I hope somebody says that.
Aren't these powerful stories? Because they believed that change was possible, they were motivated to make healthy choices. These are just a few of many former diabetics who transformed their health, all starting with a paradigm shift. What about you? What's your health story? Would you like to experience some of the same results? The good news is that you can. It all starts in your mind. Your health paradigm will determine your health destiny. Why not shift that paradigm today?
Es una epidemia de proporciones globales y está incrementando a un ritmo alarmante. Más de un tercio de todos los estadounidenses sufren de diabetes o prediabetes. Si las tendencias actuales continúan, para el año 2020, la cifra subirá a la mitad de todos los estadounidenses. La diabetes y prediabetes incrementan significativamente el riesgo de enfermedades cardíacas, así como otras complicaciones devastadoras. Pero la buena noticia es que las tendencias actuales no tienen que continuar de esta manera, especialmente en tu caso. La diabetes tipo 2 no solo es prevenible, sino también es reversible. Sí, dije bien. La diabetes puede curarse. Mi amigo el Dr. Wes Jomberg y este servidor hemos estado trabajando en distintos lugares en los últimos 25 años para ayudar a miles de pacientes a revertir la diabetes y otras enfermedades crónicas. Ambos hemos aprendido una cosa acerca de la diabetes durante nuestra carrera profesional, y es que hay esperanza para mejorar. El Dr. Jomberg revertió su diabetes. Este servidor, de padres diabéticos y con hermanos más jóvenes, ya tienen diabetes. A los 76 años, gracias al Señor, no se me ha desarrollado.
I reversed my diabetes.
I was able to reverse diabetes now for over a year.
I reversed diabetes.
I reversed my diabetes.
Deseamos que tú también experimentes estas dramáticas mejoras de salud. Es por eso que hemos condensado más de 25 años de experiencia clínica para crear este novedoso y dinámico programa titulado Revirtiendo la Diabetes. Ofrece 8 pasos y 40 videos cortos que te darán el conocimiento que necesitas para optimizar la nutrición, el ejercicio y otras poderosas estrategias de estilo de vida que te ayudarán a volver a tener buena salud. Aprenderás cómo luchar contra el azúcar elevado en la sangre, tratando sus causas subyacentes. Hemos visto cómo cientos de pacientes experimentan sorprendentes mejorías a su salud al seguir las estrategias que aprenderás en este curso. Muchos de ellos ya no son diabéticos. Este curso también puede ayudar a los diabéticos tipo 1 a controlar su condición y evitar complicaciones. Y como si fuera poco, las mismas estrategias que combaten contra la diabetes también luchan efectivamente contra las enfermedades cardíaca, obesidad, cáncer, enfermedades autoinmunes y muchas otras enfermedades. Este curso no solo es acerca de la diabetes, también te ayudará a experimentar salud óptima en cada área de tu vida física, mental y espiritual. Estamos seguros que las estrategias que vas a aprender harán un cambio duradero en tu vida. Entonces, ¿qué esperamos? ¡Comencemos! Hoy es el primer día de tu nueva historia médica.
Hi, I'm Mike Tucker. Welcome to the Grief Sessions. Maybe you've had a loss, or maybe you have friends and family members with losses, or maybe you just have a heart for people who have gone through a loss and you want to help, but maybe you don't quite have the resources. We've created the Grief Sessions just for you. The 6 sessions address very important issues regarding loss and the journey from loss to peace. And you can be a part of that healing process for people.
Hello Hopes fans, I'm going to give you a look inside Hillsborough Medical Center's brand new mobile mammography van. Let's take a look inside. When a patient enters the van, they check in at the reception desk. Once checked in, patients are directed to a private dressing area where they can get ready for their exam. Once patient gets changed, one of Hillsborough Medical Center's specialized technologists takes 3D imagery using the latest technology. Once the test is complete, the 3D images are sent to Hillsborough Medical Center where a trained radiologist reviews and compares the mammograms with previous images available, just like in a hospital. The results are sent to the patient's primary care physician and a results letter is sent to the patient. The mobile mammography van accepts almost all types of insurance plans. It's easy, fast, and 20 minutes that could save your life.